Okay, Disney, let's see what you got. I've covered all of Ever After High on my channel because I love it, and if you know anything about Ever After High, you probably know Descendants is often cited as the reason it got cancelled. Poor Mattel just couldn't compete with Disney's big swingin' doll collection and crumbled under the competition. Descendants is alive and kicking, with its most recent film dropping just about a month ago at the time of this video's release, and Ever After High has been dead and buried since 2016. However, only this first film had aired before Ever After High's final episodes. The second film for Descendants didn't drop until well after EAH was no longer running, and I'm gonna be honest, this film definitely did not beat Ever After High. I won't deny it, the second and third films are pretty fun. I wanted to hate them a lot more out of spite as an EAH fan, but no, they're just good, fun camp. This first film, however, no, absolutely not. There is no way that this is the thing that killed Ever After High, especially when it was in its prime in 2015. But to show you and explain myself, I guess we better dive into the world of Descendants. Welcome to Auradon, the kingdom where the children of famous stories go to school together, except the big selling point here is it's specifically Disney characters. If you have even a passing interest in classic fairy tales, you probably know that Disney's animations are, more often than not, very inaccurate. The Descendants films don't present their premise as fairy tales, instead it's just the version straight from the animated Disney library, which was the appeal for this franchise. It's not generic Beauty and the Beast, that's very specifically Belle and Adam. His name was Adam, by the way.
You decided to marry me at 28.
That was either you or a teapot.
That's an objectively weird joke to make. Miss Potts was your nanny. And way older than you. We can't deny it, the Disney versions often are the most well-known versions of these classic fairy tale characters, at least with modern pop culture. Descendants had a leg up by being able to use the commonly associated names and designs for their fairy tale cast. Personally, I like seeing how different iterations of these stories do their own personal spin on these classic designs. Fabelle the Dark Fairy is way more interestingly designed compared to regular old Maleficent, in my humble opinion. In this world, though, all the villains don't get to go to Auradon Prep. No, no, no. They all got shuffled over to an isolated island called the Island of the Lost, protected with a magical barrier that prevents magic from happening on the island. But our young prince of the land, Ben, has other plans.
I've decided that the children on the Isle of the Lost be given a chance to live here in Auradon.
Ben is the son of Belle and Beast. Funny thing, most kids in these films feel like carbon copies of their one parent, because most of them only have the one parent. Jafar has a son? With who? There's no mother in the picture. Cruella has a kid. When did that happen? There's no father in this picture. But since Belle and Beast are both defined characters, Ben actually ends up feeling like a good fusion between the two. He'll beast out when he gets angry or excited. But like we see here, he's also very thoughtful and learned, like his mother. And honestly, it actually makes a lot of sense the child of Beauty and the Beast would be the one to have the idea of reaching out to the Isle of the Lost. After all, his parents' whole story was about not judging someone just because they might come across as a bad guy.
The children of our sworn enemies, living among us.
We started out with a few at first.
Mitchell Hope, Ben's actor, generally does a good job with his American accent, but every now and then, especially in this first film, his natural Melbourne accent pops in a few words here or there. It can be kind of striking how much he does not sound like Belle or Adam. Anyways, Ben has decided to invite 4 lost kids, the children of Jafar, Cruella de Vil, the Evil Queen, and Maleficent.
Maleficent! She is the worst villain in the land!
Is she? Like, real talk, she doesn't really do much, right? The only reason she cursed Aurora was because she wasn't invited to the party. So I think it would be pretty easy to keep her satisfied. Just invite her to more parties. I don't know. Maybe it's just weird seeing the Beast freaking out over a villain who had nothing to do with his story. Well, while we're talking about the Bad Batch, I guess it's time to meet them. And of course, the best way to do so is with a song that I will not be playing for you.
Boo!
Listen, music gets claimed by copyright all the time, and I'm not playing that game. However, I think it might be safe if I played you exactly 1 second of the song, like this. Wow, what a song, eh? But don't worry, I'll still tell you all about it. It's actually kind of lame. But the worst part is, this is like the best song from the movie, or at least the most memorable. At least I can remember this one. Every other musical number is so flavorless, it just evaporates out of my head the second they're done singing. But now it's finally time to meet our actual main characters, starting out with our leading lady, Mal. Yeah, it's Mal, though I definitely think it's gonna end up sounding like Mel every now and then. She's remarkably bad at lip syncing. Everyone else can kind of pull it off and only get better and better as the films go on, but Mal just cannot make it look right. Not in this film, or any of the others for that matter. The very first line from the song comes from Mal, and what's the great big introduction to this character? They say I'm trouble. They say I'm bad. They say I'm evil. That makes me glad. So, that's the level of skill we're working with here. Do you also get sad? Someone insults you, do you get mad? Do you think this outfit choice is just a fad? Tell me about your dad. You're so rad. Next we meet Jay, the son of Jafar. He likes to climb around the rooftops with acrobatic skills and steals just to get by. Wait a minute, that's what Aladdin was like.
Dad, I already tried.
There's Carlos, the son of Cruella de Vil. The character is only fine in this film, a bit underutilized, but Cameron Boyce, the actor who plays him, is so freaking talented. Anytime there's a dancing number or acrobatic choreography, just pay attention to Carlos, because he will be absolutely crushing it. My favorite performance isn't until the second film though, so you'll have to wait and see that next time. Also let me know if you want there to be a next time. Last is Evie, daughter of the evil queen. She's also amazing. Huge stage presence, really steals the scenes she's in. Real talk though, when I first watched, I kept forgetting Mal wasn't the daughter of the evil queen. I don't know, I guess I'm too Ever After High pilled, but I kept thinking the purple characters were the same. But no, Mal is more like Fabel, and Evie is more like Raven. Anyways, we wrap up that song with Mal literally stealing candy from a baby. Haha, what will they think of next?
To my will.
Our will.
Our will.
So I think it's time I address a pretty big personal gripe I have about these films. The whole selling point is that it's the actual Disney versions of these characters, but constantly throughout the franchise, they also just ignore Disney lore, which, you know, is kind of the whole point of getting to use Disney-specific characters. Like an obvious one here. Half of these characters should be dead. Maleficent should be a corpse of a dragon at the bottom of a gorge. The evil queen should be jelly beneath a rock. Jafar over there should be a genie and trapped in a lamp. And Cruella, well, I guess she escaped jail once, so she could probably do it again. I can forgive the inconsistencies of the parents being alive, otherwise there wouldn't get to be this plot after all, but there's a ton of other inconsistencies like this that truly irritate me. It's fine in this one though, it gets way worse in the sequels.
Oh, the safe! The safe! Queen, help me!
The parents are pretty fun. You can tell the actors had a good time going full camp here. And to spoil the future films a bit, this is the only real time we get to see the parents of any of our characters playing larger roles in the stories. Well, at least for Mal's story. In the future, it's mostly just like a cameo here or there. Anyways, Maleficent's big plan is to let the kids go to Auradon, but she wants them to steal the fairy godmother's wand. That way they can lift the enchantment on the Isle of the Lost, and the villains can use their magic to try world domination. Because of course it's world domination. Mal is just as original as her mother is, I guess.
Fine. Whatever. I win.
No laughing. Wrinkles.
Because I'd miss him too much.
Really, Mom?
Yes. Who would touch up my root?
Jay isn't going either. I need him to stock the shelves in my store.
Parents, am I right? Maleficent still has an old spell book. While it doesn't work on the island, it will work over in Auradon, so she gives it to Mal to help her steal that wand. Ooh, I can only imagine what evil spells she has in there. Evie also gets a little magic mirror that will help answer questions for her. The boys get nothing. The boys always get shafted. Now that we've finished all of our setup, we can actually start to get to really know our main crew of villain kids, or VKs. They call themselves the VKs. This is when the movie actually starts getting fun. We can see some of the unique personalities on display as they start to react to the nicer world of Auradon. They're adorably out of touch. Oh my god, this is so cool to me. In all three of Mal's films, there's this one background character of a girl in a wheelchair. I think that's fun continuity. I wonder who her parents would be. One of the lamer downsides of Descendants is that the background characters don't really give you an idea of what fairy tale or Disney film they would have been from. I wish they played with that concept a lot more, because on the surface, the costume designs for Auradon is pretty dang bland. It's very generic prep school, and the VKs stick out like a pack of overly designed theater kids. And it just feels weird seeing them with their really unique over-designed outfits, and they're having multiple conversations with teachers who all look like regular people. Because when they do play around with the iconic elements from the films or movies, it's a lot more interesting.
I'm fairy godmother, headmistress. Bippity boppity, you know it.
Even if it is a bit on the nose.
The evil queen has no royal status here. And neither do you.
If you haven't seen these films, pause the video and leave a comment to guess who you think this character is. Guess who her parents are, okay? You got your guess? No cheating! Well, this is Audrey, daughter of Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. Couldn't you tell by her nothing-ass outfit? And it's part of what makes me go, Ever After High was way better than this. Like, you don't need to be as over-the-top with the rose themes as Briar did, but come on. If not to allude to your fairy tale origin, at least so you don't look like an extra. And Audrey's not the only one. All of the Auradon kids are impossible to tell their family lineage. Like, take Doug. He's really tall and really smart. Well, obviously, his father is dopey.
As in dopey, dog, bashful. Hi.
Like, what are we doing?
Wands and things like that?
But it's pretty much retired. Most of us here are just ordinary mortals.
Yawn. Boring. This is the magical world of Disney we're talking about. Be magical. Anyways, now that the crew are in the school, they can all start to split off and accomplish their own mini goals. While Mal is busy trying to get the wand, the other three are on their own missions too. Evie wants to marry a prince and be a queen like her mother, so she tries to flirt with Chad, son of Cinderella. In my big 5-hour-long video where I reviewed all the Disney animated films, I really fell in love with Cinderella. Chad kind of sucks in comparison.
Where's my cell phone? No biggie. My dad will just give me a new one.
Especially in this film. He gets to be much more comic relief in the sequels. You might have caught on, but a lot of things are different or subpar in this film compared to its sequels. Evie tries to impress Chad by cheating in science class. Cute. Evil Queen also did chemistry stuff, although Chad clearly only talks to her because he thinks she's super smart and convinces her to do his homework. While doing so, she actually ends up talking to Doug a lot more, who clearly is smitten with Evie. I don't blame him. Sophia Carson is gorgeous and incredibly talented. She maybe gives my favorite performance from the movie.
I couldn't help but overhear.
Are you stalking me?
Jay and Carlos busy themselves with fantasy football, the actually fantasy kind. Carlos doesn't really gel with it at first, but Jay excels. Oh! Jay, look at you! That was one of the coolest things anyone's ever done! Ah. Carlos instead gets to befriend Ben a little bit after getting chased by the campus mutt. Is that a thing? Ben says it like that's a thing, but I've never heard of that before.
This thing is a killer! He's gonna chase me down and rip out my throat!
Carlos, you've never actually met a dog, have you?
Of course not.
So, yeah, this is a sort of weird thing with specifically the male characters in this movie. All of them are the opposites of their family's stories. Carlos is terrified of dogs. Jay does not practice magic. Instead, he acts more like Aladdin, being an athletic thief. Chad is nothing like Cinderella. Doug is nothing like Dopey. Even Ben is much more like his mother rather than being anything like the Beast. But it's only the boys, though. All the girls embrace various attributes from their parents, even if it's just adopting their grudges. It makes me think maybe there was supposed to be a reason for the boys to be the opposites of their families, but it never really goes anywhere. And in most cases, it doesn't even get brought up. It's odd.
Like a family.
You do not want to be at my house at dinner time.
Anyways, Mal discovers Jane here is the daughter of the fairy godmother, and pretends to befriend her in order to get access to the wand. Since stealing it didn't work out, all she got from that little plot point was a daydream of her mother singing. Ew, don't lick that, what the fuck. It's crazy how forgettable most of these songs tend to be, because in a few years after this film is Zombies, and Zombies had amazing songs and choreography. Man, Zombies is so freaking good. So what's the plan, Mal? What wicked spell are you going to pull out to get Jane on your side? Maybe a mind-controlling spell to make her do your bidding? Maybe you'll threaten her with poison if she doesn't do as you say? Oh. Okay, so yeah, throughout this movie, Mal's main use of her spellbook is actually to just magic up new hairstyles for the girls at the school. And every time it's the same exact hairstyle, long, slightly curled. That's it. No fun colors, no bells or whistles. I thought Jane's wig looked busted when we first saw her, but I didn't realize it was going to be a central plot point for the movie. Here comes Lonnie, daughter of Mulan, with her own chopped wig to get the same treatment.
I want it cool. Like Mal's.
Lonnie, you and I have very different definitions of cool. Not saying Mal looks bad, but it's just like a normal haircut, right? Evie's prettier, I'm just gonna say it.
Now I'm cool.
Well, looks like the VKs are having quite the influence on Auradon.
Because we're rotten.
To the core.
Catchphrase! The bad kids discover that the fairy godmother's wand will be used during Ben's big coronation. Unfortunately, the only people who's allowed close enough to actually get it would be Ben's family and his girlfriend, Audrey. But what if Audrey wasn't his girlfriend and Mal was? After all, Ben does seem to be already quite keen on Mal, so they brew up a love potion.
Didn't your moms ever make you guys like chocolate chip cookies?
Even villains love their kids.
Huh. Well, anyways, love potion time. Mal tricks Ben into eating one of her love potioned treats, which kicks into effect immediately, and then Ben announces his newfound love for Mal at the end of their sport ball game, whatever. Ben sings afterwards, and it's just fine. It's ridiculous! Yeah, that's enough of that.
Looking for something?
Chad, you rat bastard! The only thing that would make this betrayal even worse is if someone was wearing a fedora. Oh god, no! But surprisingly, Evie actually passes her test. Well, honestly, it's not that surprising. She displayed her chemistry knowledge earlier when making their love potion. This little victory feels very earned.
For the first time, it's like I'm more than just a pretty face.
Oh, and it's cute too? Oh no, this relationship is real dang cute.
Are you afraid of your mom?
I just really wanted her to be proud of me. She gets so angry with me when I disappoint her.
Huh. Well, Mal's got a date with Ben, and I can't deny it. He's sweet. Their chemistry is good, especially now that Mal is letting her walls down.
Your mother is mistress of evil, and I've got the poster parents, for goodness. But we're not automatically like that.
Bars. One thing this film does extremely well is these character interactions. I've had to gloss over most of them for the sake of this review, but there are regularly little moments between the characters that show them just being together, highlighting their friendships, expressing themselves and reflecting on each other, boosting each other up. The dialogue is very good and very humanizing, and it's important to have that because the bonds the VKs make in Auradon are not only very important for their story, but showing the bonds they have with each other is also crucial, and the script and acting on display shows that off incredibly well, and yes, I concede. It's better than most of the dialogue in Ever After High. Listen, I might prefer EAH, but I'm not explicitly drinking the haterade. I'm willing to give this film praise where it's due. Anyways, Mal gets to see Ben's tits when he goes swimming, and of course, the best response to this is to break out into song. It's forgettable. We can roll right past it. Like, most of the songs are like that. Like, I won't say they make the film worse, but they certainly don't elevate things. I just said their regular dialogue was already excellent at showing off their thoughts and feelings, and these songs are just a clunkier way of doing that. At least in this film. Real talk, the songs from the sequels are way better.
You scared me!
You can't swim?
No?
You live on an island.
You got me, Descendants. That one was funny. Well, I guess their plans are all in motion. They're set and ready to steal the wand at coronation, except they all sort of seem like they're not really ready to leave. Carlos has started taking care of Dude, his little dog buddy. Jay has found passion and camaraderie in sports. Evie has gotten close with Doug and takes pride in her academics. And Mal is starting to have feelings for Ben. Going back to the parents doesn't sound very enticing in comparison. I can't believe this is the only time they musically allude to a Disney song. It seems like an easy layup, right? We're in the Disney world. Disney songs are huge and iconic elements from their films. I don't expect it for every song, but even in the sequels, this is the only time they do this sort of musical inspiration thing. Maybe it's because this song is just really bad. They try to rap in the middle of it. No, it doesn't work. Jay and Carlos's antics are just constantly fun. They're adorable. I just have so much fun seeing them whenever they're on screen.
Grammy? Sleeping Beauty's mother? Grammy, I don't think you want to be talking to this girl.
Uh-oh. Sleeping Beauty's mother, who I don't think they ever gave her a name. Hold on, let me Google it. Leia. Queen Leia. Oh, I get it. Like, it sounds like lay. Like to lay down. Sleeping. I get it. Anyways, Queen Leia here is very upset at Maleficent's daughter being present. But unlike the rest of the Auradon folks, this time she actually has a pretty good reason to be upset.
My daughter was raised by fairies. Her first steps. I missed it all!
Damn, I can't even blame her. You know, I don't think most folks ever really try looking at the perspective of these stories through the parents' eyes. But it does make sense to tackle this here. After all, the parents of the fairy tale characters is kind of the whole gimmick. Even Ever After High never bothered to address grandparents. Leia's outburst causes Chad to also dig into the VK's other issues until it all gets a little too heated and the crew needs to run off.
This isn't their fault.
No, son. It's yours.
Oh, fuck off, Adam. I do give praise to this scene. This is one of the few moments where the characters actually address the impact the family lineages have had on each other, rather than kind of dancing around it or making a joke about it. And it's pretty emotional and tense, and you can't even say Leia was in the wrong here. It's not fair that she blames the kids for the things that their parents did, which was really the whole point of Ben trying to invite them over, but also you can't blame her for not trusting them, or for being triggered by the PTSD of remembering what their parents have done. It's maybe the most mature moment from this film, and I appreciate the gravity they give it.
I mean, he's never gonna make a villain a queen.
Jane, you rat bastard!
Beware, forswear, undo Jane's hair.
See? You doubted me when I said the hair makeovers was an important part of this movie. Well, seeing how everything's gone sideways, the VKs have newfound motivation to finish their mission and get the wand. Mal has cooked up an anti-love potion to help break things off with Ben. Now all she needs to do is wait for after she gets the wand to give it to him.
No!
Mal, you had one job.
Let's give the anti-love potion a few minutes to take effect.
What?
Your spell washed away in the enchanted lake.
I can't believe it. That scene when Ben got his tits out wasn't just odd fan service, that was crucially plot relevant. And this means he's actually been in love with her that whole time, and that's cute. Oh, Jesus, cute. Okay, I admit it. I like this movie. It's campy and not nearly as good as its sequels, but I can't lie. I find these characters fun and cute, and the premise is interesting. It's still not nearly as good as Ever After High, but it's a good little story. Time for the coronation. What's Mal going to do? Steal the wand or stay with Ben? Family or love?
To bless our new king.
Oh, well, I guess she chose family. That was fast.
Child, what are you doing? If you won't make me beautiful, do my...
Oh my god! I wasn't expecting the end of this film to turn into a Pearl Jam song. Fortunately, Mal rips the wand from Jane before Jeremy can start blowing her classmates away, but now it's even more conflicted than ever.
We have no choice, Ben!
Parents made their choice. Now you make yours.
I think I want to be good.
So yeah, a pretty important message at the end here. While not as interesting as Ever After High's themes of choose your own destiny, this one does touch on a similar idea. The idea that the bad kids often come from bad homes. I've shown off the clips a few times in this review. The Auradon kids realizing how little the VKs have had growing up. They don't have pets, or chocolate, or fresh food, or, most importantly, good home lives. At the beginning, I showed you this little montage.
I win. Laughing, wrinkles. Who would touch up my roots?
I need them to stock the shelves in my store.
When I first watched this film, I assumed it was just general Disney humor. Aw man, my parent is a villain, wah wah. But no, actually. These kids have bad home lives. Their parents are selfish and emotionally manipulative or emotionally abusive. They tear their kids down and give them very little, and yet the VKs still try so hard to make their parents happy, even when it makes them very unhappy, and they needed to come to terms with that. And sometimes those troubled kids, the bad batch, sometimes all they need is someone to help reach out to them. Friends, encouragement, opportunity, and that's a pretty smart lesson to have here. Uh-oh, we still have a climax to handle though.
Falling in love is weak and ridiculous.
A very actually character-relevant line, given the fact Mal's father is not in the picture, but more importantly, look how much Maleficent is hamming up her moment. Makes sense. She's being played by Kristen Chenoweth, who might be most well known for playing Glinda in Wicked alongside Idina Menzel as Elphaba. It's about time she gets to play the part of the villain. Let her have some fun while she's doing it. For a split second there, I thought he was just going to punch her right in the kidney. I didn't realize he was going for the staff. Who hasn't thrown their barbarian in the middle of a wizard match? Well, what do you know? Maleficent turns into a dragon again. How fun! I love dragons. Even weirdly low-budget CGI ones.
The strength of evil is good as none when stands before four hearts as one.
Oh, well, I guess that worked. Cool!
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Next time I rescue you, okay?
Yes! The second film is the best one. The day is saved. Mal makes amends with Jane, though I'd seriously suggest they look into giving Jane some counseling, cause Jesus. And we end with a big ol' musical. It's cute. Very Bollywood. I like that. Here's your 1 second of music for it. So, Disney's Descendants. There's gripes I have here or there, for sure, specifically with the lack of really getting to see the character's family lineage in more meaningful ways. Whether it's design or personality, the families most of the cast comes from is little more than an afterthought, it feels like. But on the whole, like I said, I do like this film. It's simple and small, but well executed. It's got a good heart, a good message, and excellent character dialogue and interactions. The songs are mostly forgettable, and at worst, kind of cringe. None of them really wow me. But really the biggest downside to this film is once you compare it to its sequels. This movie does a fine job setting up the idea of these characters and this world, but in hindsight, it's missing so much from its sequels that really make Descendants its own interesting, iconic thing. This is a nice first step, but it looks like a stumble when you see what's coming next. The sequels lean a lot more into action and get the characters running around and doing more magical fairy tale-like things. This one is a lot of hair makeovers and sitting around chatting. It's charming in a vacuum, but it's not fair to judge a film based solely on its sequels that get to piggyback off of what it established on its own. This first film is still very fun. I see why it did so well, and I see why people think it killed off Ever After High. Though, in a perfect world, it should have sparked an excellent rivalry, but Mattel are buffoons and just quit everything instead. Easily the weakest part of this film is the beginning of it. The first few scenes have lame jokes, goofy music choices, has a pace that drags, and doesn't really hook me into the setting or story. The movie really only starts to get good once the VKs shuffle into the limo that takes them away from the island. Unfortunately, I could see a lot of people probably giving up on the film before reaching that point of the movie though. But if you do stick around, you get a pretty good story. It's simple, but has a good heart, but throughout this review, I've been gassing up the sequels. We're not done in the adventures of Auradon, so I'll see you next time to watch the story continue to unfold. Extra special shout out to my $100 patron, Mesothelioma. They have such lovely eyes. Beautiful color. Shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Genital War Thunder, Jake, Amber, Scaring Crows, Messiah, Jacob, Ben Sketchbook, Lucien, Wild Pilot, Bunkin Duncan, Hoodie Angel, Ranger, C1 Trooper, Ruby Rune, Lavaros, Unspoken, Tyrene, Thanos, Pandemonium, Peter, Aguirre, Eden, Silver, Doki Pokey, Zappy, Wolfgang, Philip, Lalaroni, Nerf Ned, Middle Coop, Vermithor, Card Creates, Cat with a Knife, Rose, Mar Ruby, Cartoony Tim, The Lover, and Maximum Warp. So what do you think? Have you seen Descendants? If so, are you excited? Have you seen any of the sequels? I keep saying the second one is the best one. Do you agree or disagree? And what do you think of this one more specifically? If you are new to this franchise, did it like jump out at you or anything? Any thoughts about the characters or plot or costumes? There's a lot going on in this one. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to talk about the next ones as well. I plan on doing so, but yeah. Any and all thoughts and opinions, comparisons to Ever After High, I would love to see them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.